2007 Nissan. Hello people, how are you YouTube? Back at it again, fixing cars, doing what we gotta do, you know, to stay away from those high prices that these mechanics decide to put on us. Alright, so today we're changing brakes, front brakes, on a 2007 Nissan Versa, right?
Nissan Versa.
Nissan Versa. We already did one side.
But we're gonna show you.
We're gonna show how to do the proper way to change front brakes. Okay, so first thing you got to do is remove the hubcap. Okay, now this is designed to trick people because it has 5 lug nuts. Okay, so take that off. You got 4. Voila. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna use a 21mm socket. Got a breaker bar here just in case it's tough to remove. Oh, loosen them up. Alright.
Then we find a jack point so we can jack it up.
Every car, usually behind the front wheel and in front of the one in the back.
By now you should know what the hell.
Who, me?
No, the people watching the video.
Oh.
If they don't know how to jack up a car, then they shouldn't be working on cars.
Well, I mean, everybody's got to start at some point.
I know, but you gotta find the jack point. It's usually, like you said, behind the front wheel.
Which is the normal jacking point.
Yeah.
You could, you know, find the one in the front and the one for the back, but I only got time.
You don't have time. And if you want to be safe, have to jack it up with a jack stand underneath.
Or you could put the tire.
Or you put the tire so that way it doesn't fall on top of you. But right now we're not thinking about safety.
Yeah.
We're thinking about time and speed. And of course you gotta remove the wheel.
Hey, can you put this in the shade?
Sure, man.
It's hot.
So after you remove the wheel,
You could
voila!
put it under
Put
here.
the tire under.
Safe.
Here you go. To be safe. You gotta use WD-40 or the lubricant blaster to remove the stubborn bolts.
Yeah, you've got 117 right here, and then you got another 17 right down here. These two are probably going to be the toughest ones out of these two, which these would be a 14. Got another one right here, that's another 14. Yeah, so if you're just going to replace the brake pads and you see that your rotors are actually pretty fine, all you have to do is just remove the 14 up here and the 14 right down here where I showed you previously. Okay, normally you just take this one completely off and you could just loosen this one, then your brake caliper can just simply rotate up like that, and then you wouldn't have any type of difficulty having to sustain it, suspend it up in the air, anything like that. You could just push the cylinder back and you could remove and replace
Just
the brake pads.
Yeah, but since the guy wants the rotors
Changed.
we gotta take the whole caliper out.
Yeah, so to remove the whole assembly, we're gonna remove the 17mm bolts that we have here and up here. We're gonna remove the whole brake caliper assembly, and then remove the brake rotors so we can change everything.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. And what do you need to push back the?
You could use a C-clamp.
A C-clamp or
Okay.
some type of kit that they sell in the auto part, but with a C-clamp it works.
Yeah, works just the
So
same.
that way you don't have to spend that much money. And he'll show you how to push it back. Just slide it in there.
Oh, that shit is pretty hot.
And nice freaking sunny day. Yeah, when you want to do this, try to do it in the shade because you don't want to do it on a sunny summer afternoon in Florida.
Yeah. So as you
90
can
degrees.
see, as I'm tightening the C clamp, you can see the
The piston.
piston. Yeah, piston being pushed back. So that when you're changing the brake pads, because the brake pads are, you know,
Worn out.
have more. Yeah, the old ones were worn out. This piston was all the way pushed forward. So that if you did change the brake pads, the new brake pads would have more surface. So that if you did happen to not push this back and you left the new brake pads on there, you wouldn't be able to put it back on the brake caliper. So that's why you got to push this back.
Yes.
Okay.
And that way you don't spend what, $300-400 on a damn mechanic that want to charge you when you got to switch your brakes. Or more, I don't know. Depends where you live.
Yeah. Then you can go ahead, remove the brake pads. Okay, like so. Place them. Put
Same
this
way.
back.
And of
and
course
then you can
clean it,
tighten it.
lubricate it.
Yeah.
And so that way we don't squeak. We put
Wait, we're not what is this, an advertisement? We're not advertising.
No,
shit.
no,
They're
but
not
you-
paying us.
I know,
but this is brake fluid. I mean,
No, no.
not brake fluid. This is a. Hold on, keep that out of the video. This brake quiet, okay?
yeah, the pink stuff. So you put in the back of the
You can put it on the back of the brake pad, the one that's
Brake
going to be
pad.
rubbing onto the cylinder. I mean the piston,
and then any moving
on the
part,
brackets,
you know.
anywhere where there's any type of metal contact when you brake. So
You find that at any auto part
yeah.
store.
But here we go. We're gonna change the brake rotors.
But we gotta switch out the brake rotors,
Yeah,
so we
just
gotta
repeat what I said.
remove the caliper. Sorry. Remove the caliper. You remove all the bolts that he told you previously, which ones to remove, and then you either cable tie it or so that way your brake lines don't snap.
Alright, so I went ahead and removed the two 17mm bolts. Removed the whole assembly from the wheel hub. Got the brake caliper right here, and I got the part that holds the brake pads right there. Okay, I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to get a cable tie. I'm going to tie this
Out of the way.
out of the way.
With the piston already pushed back, so you don't have to worry about that.
And just find a place to put it right there. That's so it doesn't put what do you call it? What's that word?
Pressure on the brake line.
Pressure?
Yeah, and it doesn't snap it and
Yeah,
break
pressure,
it,
whatever.
crack it, whatever you want to say.
Put tension.
Tension, there you
not
go.
pressure. Tension on
Tension,
the brake
tension.
line, so it doesn't break and you got brake fluid all over the place. Okay.
And then you're gonna have to find a brake line, go to the fucking dealership or whatever.
Yeah. And you're gonna remove brake pad. I mean brake caliper. Sometimes, if you don't change your brake rotors, after a long time they might get rusted and might be just sitting there.
And
If
again,
that happens to you, you're gonna get a rubber mallet. Okay, you're gonna bang on one side to kind of the vibration is gonna break it off the, you know, from it being stuck on there. Okay.
with all the rust.
Yeah, but we don't have that problem right now, so we can't
Yeah.
show you.
We had that problem on the Corolla.
Yeah. Didn't you get that on video or something?
No, I didn't. I was so mad and shit. Get the new rotor. New one. It was still pretty okay, but the guy wanted to change anything. We do as we are told.
Alright, so I just replaced, I put the new brake pads on here, so we're now gonna go on ahead and put on the new brake rotor.
And they're not eBay rotors either.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. There we go.
Like that. I already put the piston on the brake caliper back. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on there. Give me, where's the
The what?
oh, thank you.
Yeah.
See, that's why you always help me.
I'm ready, man. Anything you
Okay,
need.
so after you got the this part on here, right, to help you out throughout the whole process, you can keep the brake caliper up here. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take the 17mm bolts. You could put this one up here first, this wouldn't help you out a lot. Then you could go ahead and put the one on the bottom first, which is what I'm about to do. Okay.
Like filming a porn, you gotta get in the action.
Yeah. Go ahead and hand tighten them all the way, then go ahead and use your ratchet, tighten them. I don't know if there's any exact specifications as to how much torque you're going to be turning these, but I just go ahead and make sure that they're just tight. And, alright, give it like another 1/8 of a turn, or whatever you call it. Same thing to the top. Make sure it's tight. You're going to squeeze these together, brake pads, give it enough room to play. And you're gonna go ahead and put the brake caliper back in there. Already suspended it. Bring it back down. Gonna go ahead. Oh shit! Hold on. Damn.
Slide that on.
Alright, you're gonna grab your 14mm bolts.
Right here.
Fasten it back in place.
And don't cross thread it.
Yeah, don't cross thread it. See, don't tighten it first. You're gonna go ahead and take the other one. I'm gonna go put it on part. Make sure it's in the correct place. Got them tight.
And then
You're gonna take your 14mm socket with your ratchet. You're gonna go ahead and tighten them. Right. Tighten the top. Okay, tighten the bottom. Gonna go ahead and do the same as when you were tightening the 17mm bolts. Make sure that they're tight. Okay. Sure you got it.
that's how
Make
you
sure
put
there's
it
no
back together.
yeah. Make sure there's no grease on the rotor, because then you're not gonna be able to stop correctly. Go ahead and put on the tire.
He's done, and repeat the process on the other side. And that should be how you do a brake change.
Yeah, but remember, make sure that they're tight.
Yeah, make sure these bolts are tight before you drive it away. That's when you come with your breaker bar. Make sure they're tight. And then you want to pump your brakes, right?
Yep.
3 or 4 times. And then just give it a quick test run. And hopefully you don't crash. do, you gotta pump the brake
Yeah.
with the piston back.
What's it doing? It was falling.
Right?
Yeah, now I'm fine. Yes, it's fine.
Alright.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna drive it away.
You took the chokes out, right?
Yeah. And that's it.